Welcome to African Women in the Diaspora with Ngozi Jason. And as always, I'm your host, Ngozi Jason. It's a concerning statistics right now. There was a global study, and I'm looking at my phone now so I can give you the right information. It says that, and it's a recent study, it says that nearly 8 in 10 Black women in leadership roles report experiencing significant burnout, a rate that outpaces almost every other demographic. Imagine almost 8 out of 10 Black women who are, and I think every Black woman is in the leadership role. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you're still a leader. So that means that almost every woman reports burnout, significant burnout in her life. And for the woman in the diaspora, for the woman of African descent in the diaspora, this is more than work stress. It's more than your to-do lists. There's so much. Being number one, you're a woman. Then number two, you are a woman of African descent. Then number three, you're trying to navigate living in another country. The stress of trying to understand a new culture, a new environment, and all that. It's a lot. It's a lot. Your help, especially if you live in Europe, you're supporting your partner financially. Sometimes you're the one who is the one doing more financially. Then when it comes to the chores at home, you do the bulk of the cooking most of the time. You do the bulk of the cleaning. When your children need someone to talk to, most times children first turn to their mothers. Yeah. If there's an issue in school, most times it is the mother they call. If the child is ill, most times it is the mother who takes the child to the hospital. So it's a lot. It's a whole lot. But not to worry, today I have somebody really, really special who knows what she's talking about, who's going to help us see how we can navigate the stress of being a woman of African descent who lives abroad. There's this quote by Maya Angelou. It says here, she says, "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be changed by it. So I'm going to call on the wonderful lady who is here with us today. Her name is Ifoma Ogbonna. Coach Ifi, as she's fondly known, is a stress management and work-life balance coach. She's the mother of 3 young adult children or daughters, and she's the founder of Balanced Living Consulting. Coach Ifi holds degrees in food technology and Bible and theology, and she has over 9 years experience as a medical assistant. Coach Ifi has her passion for helping people led her into coaching, where she supports individuals in managing stress, avoiding burnout, increasing productivity, and building sustainable balance. Coach Ifi is the strategist, and she is the stress to success specialist. Now, if today is your first time of listening to this show, welcome. And if you got to listen to this show because someone sent you the link, please person for yourself and for me. And if you've been watching our show, thank you so much for joining us today. And I'd like all of you to please join me in giving a warm welcome to Coach Ifi. Yay! Thank you. Coach Ifi is joining us all the way from Germany. Coach Ifi, please, what's the weather like in Germany today?
Today, the weather is still nice, but from tomorrow, we're having a little bit of snow.
Snow?
Yes,
Are
I
you
was
serious?
also surprised
Wonderful.
to see that. Yeah.
Wonderful. And the weather is not bad today too in the UK. It's a little bit cloudy, but it's not raining. Although they say it might rain at some point. Hopefully it doesn't rain. But thankfully, the weather at your end is much better than ours here. So Coach Ifi, talk to us. Tell us a little bit more about yourself before we go into the first question.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. I'm coming for the second time.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm always excited to speak to Ngozi. You don't need more. She has enough ginger and enough energy for every one of us. So I'm happy to be here. Like she said, I'm a stress to success coach. But first, I'm a mom. I'm a passionate mom. I love being a mom. And I see as a mom, I have a group. I wrote a book called The Double Woman Theory.
Yeah.
And from that book, I'm doing a mentorship class. And from that mentorship class last week, we talked about leadership. And women are automatically born into a position of leadership with a lot of branches. Men are born into the leadership as head, maybe. But a woman, you are born into the position of leadership you have different branches to coordinate. So I see this, and in my own experience of experiencing stress and what it can do to you, and not being able to balance your life, being all over the place, led me into what I'm doing today. It has changed my life, and it's changing the life of a lot of women. So stress is real, and stress is what each person, and if you understand stress really, if you really understand stress, you can use it to your advantage. You understand? You can use it to your advantage and get the best out of it.
Wow. Yeah, because, we follow each other on LinkedIn, and you're always saying that. I would like you to, at some point while we're talking, I'd like you to explain that how you can use stress to your advantage. Because I remember a couple of trainings that I did back home in Nigeria where I used to work. They used to send us on trainings regularly every year. And I know that a couple of trainers told us that that stress is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, it can also be a good thing. So I wanted to touch on that. But before that, I'd like to ask you, in your practice, what kind of stress are you seeing the most in women right now?
I see a lot of women, because right now there's a change, not just now, but now it's becoming more. There's a change in the role women are taking up. Before, women are just laid back. You understand? Just a few are in front, a few are making careers or into big businesses. But right now, they are needed to go out because of what the world is into, because our partners, maybe they're not earning enough to take care of everything, because people are afraid of, if something happens to my partner and I'm doing nothing, my children will not survive. So a lot of women are out there. So what do I see them doing? I see them, they're trying to hold all these things together. They're trying to prove themselves that, hey, I can be the best housewife and I still can be the best person at work.
Very true. Very true.
They're trying to, they're allowing this pressure, accepting this pressure, and they're also competing with people that are not in the same situations, the same season as themselves. And that is the stress a lot of women are going through right now, that is really breaking them down, because it's drawing them into different areas. It's pulling them in different directions. You understand? So they don't feel whole. As a person, you need to feel whole to grow. You need to feel whole, to feel balanced, to feel fulfilled. And that is the greatest stress women are going through right now. They are being pulled, and they're accepting this pressure. They are really accepting this pressure, being pulled all over the place.
So you're saying that women are holding several leadership positions. They are mothers at home, they are wives, then they are at work, they are leaders at work in various capacities, then in their extended families, some could be students. There's so much that women are doing. And they are trying to prove that I can do everything.
Exactly.
That's it. That's true. That's true. And then if you're the type of, because I remember there's a time I used to feel I never liked to speak out loud to people that I couldn't handle certain aspects of my life. I used to feel uncomfortable because I'd feel that people would judge me. So I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine, a secondary school classmate, and then her older sister was there. I was talking about, I think maybe my children's shoes, school shoes or school bag or something. And I was wondering how I was going to wash their school bag. And my friend's older sister said, "What's wrong with you? Just throw it into the washing machine and then let me clean it. Why are you stressing yourself?" I was surprised that she didn't judge me. She was like, why are you stressing yourself? Just find the easiest way of doing something, do it, and then move on. But many women aren't like that. Many women will judge you. Why can't you?
Yeah,
Why can't you cook spectacular
everywhere.
food? Keep your house always clean. Well, be a good husband. At night, be there for your husband, be there for your children, do your work perfectly.
Exactly.
But now, I'm really happy that more and more people are coming out and speaking up and saying this is a lot. This is a lot, and I need help. How can I handle it?
It's a lot.
Okay, so now let's get to the question 2. what kind of pressure? Let's go home now, because this program is called African Women in the Diaspora. So what kind of pressure do immigrant women carry that people don't see compared to those back home?
Okay, as myself, you have the pressure of not failing. You can't just fail.
Yeah.
You can't just fail. The old people, everybody back at home is waiting for you. You can't fail. So this pressure has broken a lot of women, has made them to do things they're not supposed to do. You see some of them working shifts upon shifts upon shifts so that they don't fail. And their own failure is monetary, in the sense that I need to produce that money, send back, show them I'm having houses, show them these things. So that is one of the pressures people go through. And people forget that you are here, you are building a life. So an immigrant woman is building two lives.
Yes.
The one you are building here and the one you are building at home. So that pressure not to fail. Second pressure they find is the pressure to fit in. A woman of African descent, you are first of all, you have the way you talk, we have our skin, we are blacks, we have our culture, not just the culture of the way we dress, but our temperament, the way we talk, the way we act. And to now fit in that into whatever new culture you are in is pressure. 2 weeks ago, I was asked to speak about Nigeria in a setting, and I think we only 3 that were black, so about 80 people there. You understand? So the pressure to speak rightly, the way they will understand, the tonation and everything is there. So you're having that pressure there. Then also the last pressure, another pressure you're having is the pressure not to change, to still be you. You're saying you don't change, you'll be you. How can you be you?
That's true.
When everything is different. I keep saying, if I was at home in Nigeria, what concerns me with how my clothes are being washed? What concerns me in some kind of things? It doesn't concern me, because you have people that can do it at maybe at a lower cost or at no cost at all, because they're family members. But here, you got to do every single thing yourself.
Yes.
You understand? So when people are asking you not to change, how can you not change when the situation is different?
Yes.
So these are the pressure they go through, and it's just inside. And if they cannot find solutions to this pressure of not failing, of trying to live double life, the pressure of trying to fit in anyhow, breaking themselves to fit in, and the pressure of not wanting to change, this is how we are in Africa, this is how we are where I'm from, then it will break them. It's a conflict that will break them down.
Yeah. In fact, I didn't even think of it. The pressure of not wanting to change, of being yourself. That can also be stressful. I've never thought about it as being stressful, because you're in a new environment.
Yeah.
So yes, in as much as you don't want to lose yourself, but you need to change to accommodate certain things.
Exactly.
Yes, you're right. I've never thought about it like that. Okay, so on a bad day, in quotes, because for me, no day is a bad day. Whatever comes, I try to organize it to fit in, So on a bad day, for want of a better way to say it, what do you do personally to reset? Like if someone is overwhelmed right now, what's the small step or the first small step you'd advise them to take? Talk to the woman who's listening to us right now.
Okay. Can I say this first of all? I understand when you say for you there is no bad days. That is when we associate ourselves to being that bad person. There are days that are bad, that are just not working well. You understand? What do we do? First of all, there are two sides to the story. One, you have to ask yourself, what is making this day bad? That affects everything.
Yep.
Is it because I'm tired? Is it money issue? Is it transport issue? Is it my husband issue? Is it a child? So that the cause is a problem. Is you have to know what is causing that bad day for me. That's number one. Secondly, I have to know myself. How am I? How aware am I with myself? So on a typical bad day, maybe because I feel there's something I'm working on is not working out the way I want it to work out. Or I feel, man, the results are not coming out. I wrote this also this morning in this group I'm telling you about. There's an affirmation I use for myself. You understand? I tell myself, hey, come, Ify, God is within you. You cannot fail. Use affirmation to catch myself, because on a bad day you are falling. So I use affirmation to catch myself. I use affirmation to keep myself going. You understand? And what keeps me going also is gratitude. Gratitude. And sometimes when things are falling, I'll just ask myself, what can I hold on to now? Are my kids okay? Is this one okay? Is that one okay? My priorities, I go back to them, and if those ones are okay, I let things go. Even if that bad day is you've lost your job, that thing does not have an immediate effect. It's a bad day, but does not have an immediate effect. It has a long-term effect, yes, but an immediate effect. And sometimes when we're having those bad days, we need to differentiate it. Is this a bad day whereby my hands were broken? You get my point? Or is it something that will have a ripple effect? So gratitude is one thing. Gratitude helps me a lot. Prayer. Then movement. Some people, maybe if you just feel this person is annoying me, everybody's just doing their own thing and you're feeling so hot inside of you, if you can get out and go and move your body somehow, you are releasing some of these tensions away from you. So it depends really, like I said, what is the bad day about and what kind of a person that you are. Recently, I was talking to somebody, so the person told me, my day is not good. I said, can you go out? No, I cannot go out. Do deep breathing. No, that one does not work for me. For you to deep breathe. So at the end of the day, what were we able to do for that person was journaling. The person was able to now write down every single thing that was bothering that person. So it's as if the person was taking the mental overload and putting it on paper, and it's released. So each person is different. You just have to find out what works for you and immediately go to it. Let it always be your to-go place.
You said something like if you're going through, if the day is not going the way you want, you ask yourself why. That just reminded me of sometime last year. There's a lady I heard about that had just passed. I don't know her personally, but I used to watch her videos. And I used to love watching her videos. One very big woman, and she could dance. She was always dancing. And then one day I opened social media and I heard that, oh Lord, I felt so bad. She didn't know me. I didn't know her, but I just loved her. I felt so bad that day. And I think I needed to go out. I was going out. I don't know where I was going to. So while I was in the car, I just noticed that I wasn't feeling happy. And I asked myself, why aren't you feeling happy? I started thinking. And I realized it was the news I had heard. It was the news I had heard. But I was like, well, like you say in Igbo language, only one, as in person we don't die. In Pidgin English, person we don't die, So life has to go on, I just prayed for her children. And I moved on. So a lot of times it's good if you notice why you're feeling the way you're feeling, then you can deal with it and move on. Recently, I was talking to a young lady here in the UK, and she's so stressed up with work. And I was trying to tell her about, moving your body, exercising, and not, whatever exercise you can do if you're just walking. And she said, but after walking, when I come back, I'll still be the problem. I say, yes, the problem will still be there, but you'll be in a better frame of mind.
Exactly. Exactly. That is it.
Yeah.
That is it.
I didn't realize the importance of movement until I came to the UK. I didn't realize the importance of movement in handling stress until I started. I used to hear people say, I take a walk to clear my head. I used to just so random. Clear your head. How? By taking a walk. Until I started doing it and I realized that truly. And then when you live in Europe where the sun doesn't shine that much, so when you go out and take in some fresh air, it also helps. It helps. And like you said, it just depends on who the person is and what works for them. If breathing, I don't know. Breathing works for me, but it's not the first thing I'll think of if I want to handle stress. The first thing I think of is let me just go somewhere, take a walk or talk to myself. And you talk about talking to yourself, talking yourself up when things are not going the way you want. All right. So we'll go on to the next question, Coach Ify. So what does healing from stress look like? Does a stress-free life actually exist, or is that a myth? That's it. I love this question. Please take your time answering this question.
Okay. I will use it to connect with the first question you asked me. How can we use stress for our advantage? A stress-free life is a person that is dead. You understand? So when we talk about stress-free living, we just use that word to mean manage stress. There's nothing like a stress-free life, because for me to sit up straight, I need an element of stress. For me to prepare for this program, I need an element of stress. For you to be alive, you need an element of stress. Stress is you getting pregnant. and delivering. You going for exams. So there is what they call the good kind of stress. There's a bad kind of stress. So you have to understand what a good kind of stress is and what a bad kind of stress. So what we are trying to prevent, what we are telling people, stress, is this bad kind that is also called distress, that has negative effects, that stays in your life for a long time. That's the one we are against. So yes, there is a way you can live a better life with your stress. And the point is this, I'll use, let me use this as an example of explaining how you can live that stress-free life. A life of stress is when that stress overflows. It overflows. Every day it's always overflow, or it's almost overflowing. So you are nervous, you are irritated, you're always angry, you're always tired, you're always overwhelmed, your stress level is high. But when we are trying to live a stress-free life, is you trying to reduce that your stress level that will always come. It's always going to be pulling. Stress is always coming in here. So you are trying to reduce it. So what you do is that you put in holes under this cup. And those holes can be prayer, going for your walk, planning, having a structured life, having an accountability partner, having support, time management, all those things you are putting there. So constantly your stress level is going down. You wake up the next morning, the stress for that day will come. But because you are doing those things, your capacity keeps increasing. There's a space for you to handle those stress. So it never comes up to the point where you are always irritated, tired, and overwhelmed. That is when we talk about stress-free living. You are understanding your stress. And it also goes to the point of you understanding yourself. I'm a morning person. Wake me up 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm ready. I'm good to go. So if I understand that, I will do a work that will align to that. Then I'm living a more stress-free life because I understand my body. For example, I told somebody, you will hardly see me put my gym time in the evening. I will not go. I can go for a stroll in the evening, but I will not go for a gym. I can go for a gym 4 a.m. in the morning. I can go 12, but in the evening, I won't go. It's not my way. What I will do, I can go for a walk. So understanding that about myself and planning my life that way is me living a stress-free life. So that's what people need to understand by stress. It's not as if stress is not much. Let me share what happened to me last week. Last week, we had in church a meeting for the leaders. And a lady was in the church, so she was just complaining. God, I'm working full time. I'm not going to work full time again. It's just too much. This meeting should be fast and go. Somebody now asked her, when did you close? 4 o'clock. Yes, I go out every morning. I close 4 o'clock. It's too much. And you could see it in her that it was much. So during the topic, when we're still talking, so I was just looking at her. My heart went to us immediately. I said, this woman, I can help you. That kind of a thing, you understand? So then later during the talk, I was now asked, and we're now asked what I do and the time I can take something. So I said, I work full time, I work part time, I do my coaching. They looked at me and said, what are you saying? How can you do all these things? It's planning, it's prioritizing, it's knowing your limits, knowing what you can carry. And it's you shouting, hey, I can carry till this point, I can't carry more. So when you put those things in place, you are able to do more of the things you can carry. You understand? So that is possible for you to live a stress-free life, like the way I explained it. And what does healing from stress looks like? It looks like your natural default system will be peace and calm. That means when stress comes, because you have been healed from stress, you have understood stress, you know what to do immediately to adjust. For example, now, especially February, I had so much pain in my body, in my bones, in my joints. And those pains were so bad that, when you are already irritated from pain. And if you are irritated, the way you talk to people, you snap at people, you get my point. So because I'm aware already, when I got to work, I told them, hey, listen, you guys know me now. I'm the one always motivating everybody. I'm not feeling fine. And so maybe I'll not talk much. So that information already has settled some things down. Point. So because I understand that, because peace and calm is my default, that is the result from healing. When you're healed from stress, you understand how to go about it. Communication is one of them. So they already know, if you had communicated to me. So when they come, they just touch me at the back. If God bless you, they just go. They know already. So I did not need to stress myself again to start being anything. I could now stay in that my calm place because I've passed that information to them that, listen, I'm not feeling so fine. So I'm a bit irritated from inside. They say, but it's not showing, but I know it inside. So because I know my stress natural default system. So when you know you have healed from stress, you've understood your body. And you are taking constantly. It's not just a one-time thing. I went to work 2 years ago. No, it's a constant thing because, like I said, this example I used, stress does not stop coming in.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't stop coming in. So you continue to do the things you have to do. You understand? So that is, but when you are able to do it for a long time, you are now balanced. It becomes routine. You're not thinking about it again. Wednesday, you just carry your bag, you go for your sport. It becomes part of your life. Someone is talking to you anyhow, you're looking of how to find peace. It becomes part of your life, becomes easier because you have already known the basic of those things that you are going through. You know?
To try and understand what you just said now, define stress for us. What actually is stress?
Stress is your response to a particular situation. The way you respond. You understand? Because there's what they call, people misplace a stress factor to be stress.
Okay.
For example, a child, my work can be a stress factor.
Okay.
You get my point? Yeah. So, but your work is not a stress factor to you. So that stress factor is not a bad thing or a good thing, but it causes you stress.
Mm-hmm.
So now, how do you respond to it? Is that stress? In the sense that, it's my work. Immediately I just get up in the morning and I see that, I'm going to work. I start feeling overwhelmed. I start feeling my tummy is paining me. That response is stress. That response I'm giving to that thing is stress. For example, if you tell me now, if you come, we have a party in Manchester, let us go. Hey, but party is a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's my stress factor.
Mm.
So me, I'm ready. My body is already. I'm
But
already.
why is the party a stress factor for you? Why?
That one is another reason. Because I'm a person that I enjoy myself. I enjoy smaller gatherings.
Yeah, yeah.
I flourish in smaller gatherings.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me, you understand? So I know if you tell me that, or if you ask me to, but you ask me to clean the house, I flourish there. Because as I'm cleaning the house, I can be listening to an audio, I'm in my space. And so that response, stress is that response. Maybe you are fighting it, you are running away. Like, for example, for that party on, I want to run away. That is that stress. That is the effect it's bringing in me, that response. That is that stress.
All right. So stress is a feeling.
It's a response. Yeah.
It's a feeling. And so many times we respond based on how we are feeling towards the stress factor. Am I correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. You can put it that way. Exactly.
I understand that. Yeah, because a lot of times we associate stress with the factor, like you said.
Exactly.
Not knowing that it comes from within us.
The way you see that thing, the way you respond to that thing is that thing. You understand? And there are just 3 different ways you can respond to stress. Either you fight that thing, you understand? Or you run away from that thing, or that thing paralyzes you. Those are the 3 things that can happen. And in fighting that thing is either you get angry, you get irritated, you understand? Or when you run away, you are withdrawing. You're not responding, you're keeping malice, you are just, or you are paralyzed to the extent, and that's the worst one. You understand? You just imagine somebody, a car coming. It has happened to some people. A car will come in that moment, you're supposed to run, but you are paralyzed.
Yeah.
You just stand there and the car will hit you. So, and that's the worst form of stress, that you don't know what to do. You cannot run, you cannot fight, you cannot do anything. You are paralyzed. And a lot of people are in that situation, so they are just surviving life. Surviving
life, which a lot of women of African descent who live abroad, that's where that survival mode. You're just there, you're not. It's like you're not moving forward, you're not moving backward. You're just breathing, just eating, breathing. Everything is on automatic mode, not really thinking of what you're doing. Yeah, I remember some years ago. For the first, because my mom was like the heartbeat of the family. So when she died, we were confused for like a month or so. we didn't know what to do. We're just there. Nobody knew what to do. We're just
Yeah.
stayed for a month, no discussions, nothing. We're just there, paralyzed, not knowing what
Yeah.
to do. So I understand that. So that means that in handling stress, one needs to be self-aware.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Okay. The first thing I always ask when somebody comes for a coaching session is to get to know that person.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know your strength.
Mm.
You have to know your weaknesses, and you have to know your skills.
Mm.
Your strength is part of yourself. Is, like I said, I'm a morning person. So if you really want to discuss some things with me, discuss it in the morning. I'm clear. I am. So, but if now I want to, one of my child is an evening person, and I want to now talk about their schoolwork, and I'll go and wake them up by 5 a.m. in the morning, and so I say, your schoolwork, it's not going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So when that person comes to me, I ask them, do you know yourself? What kind of a person are you? Are you a morning person? Are you an evening person? What are your strengths? Are you, you have the strength of communication? Do you have the strength of being on your own? Do you have the strength of, when you know those things, it will help you to handle stress when they come. That awareness of what are your limits? Do you know your limits at all?
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is that we don't know all our limits until some particular situations come.
True.
That we know really, really, really what our limits are. But let's call it our perceived limits. You're supposed to know your perceived limits. Do you know your boundaries? So when you know all those things, if you know that if somebody talk to me anyhow, it bothers me. You cannot just come and tell me, talk to me like this. It annoys me. When you know those things, that awareness will help you to handle stress situations. Part of the awareness is knowing the kind of a stress person that you are. There are different kinds of stress people. Most women fall into the fixers. Under stress situation, they're just active, doing things. It might help, might not always help. While some people under stress, they are not the fixers, they are the waiters. They'll just wait. Everybody will be running. They'll just wait. So knowing that kind of your natural form of response, when you know that, you are able to say, okay, sometimes under stress, maybe I should not just start talking. Maybe it will spoil things. Then I have to learn, when there's a stress situation, I should just hold my tongue a bit. Since I'm the talking type, and my talk makes things worse.
Yeah.
Then why some people, they don't talk, people march on them, people deal with them. So they have to, yes, I'm a quiet person that doesn't want peace. I don't want trouble. I don't want trouble, but people are killing you. So you have to, either when you know that you're that kind of a person, either you know where to put yourself in a exclusive box where you don't get easily touched, or you learn to open your mouth to tell people, hey, you can get to me till this point and no more. That is the self-awareness comes in, really.
Okay. Thank you for answering that so well. So the next question is, what kind of life do you want women to experience instead of this constant pressure that we've been talking about?
Yes. What I tell women is this: you have to understand the season of your life. Each person has a season in their life. That's one thing I always want them to understand. And two, I always compare the river with a flood. Most women are just like the flood. A flood does not have a path. It's just going, and it's carrying anything and everything on its way. But a river, it flows more smoothly, it has structure, and it doesn't go overboard. If a woman knows her season, knows, okay, right now, I'm admiring Ngozi, she's doing a great job. But my season, I have 2 small children.
Exactly.
And so those 2 small children, they should be your priority at that time. As much as you want to be that great speaker, that great doctor, that whatever you want to be. But those kids, like, you bring them come this world. They should be your priority. You can go ahead to live your dream if you have in place a good nanny, a good cook, a good whatever. Then why not? If you can outsource yourself in their life, then do that. But understand your season. Understand the season that you are in. Are you in a planting season? Are you in the season of digging deep? Or are your stems coming up? So a lot of women, they don't understand this, so they put themselves into problem. They see a woman carrying an expensive bag. They just want that bag. They don't know the level, what that lady went. They've not heard the lady's story.
Yeah.
They don't know the lady's story, but they just want what they see.
Yeah.
They think that success is suddenly. No.
Exactly.
There is no success that is, it can appear suddenly,
Yeah.
but it was never sudden.
Yeah.
So if women understand this season in their life and try and create a priority list for themselves and always ask themselves before they act, this my action, does it align with this priority that I say? If I say my kids are my priority, this action I want to act, I want to do, does it align with that? If I say my marriage for now is my priority, does it act? For example, last year, my kids are always my priority, but last year I put them very, very high. This year, when this year started, I said, listen, except for the small one that is 90, I said, used to, you're not my priority. You're by the side. Is it that I don't have time for them? Of course I do. I'm there for them, everything. But I know what I meant by that priority. Last year, I was traveling to them. I made them to know, hey, listen, you are and I told them, this year, I communicated that with them also. I said, this year, I need to build my business, really. So you two bigger ones, I'll be there for you, but this is my priority. So my actions are being aligned with that for now. So that's the thing, and you cannot make everything a priority at the same time. Nothing becomes a priority. Nothing becomes important. So per time, you have to know what is most important and face it for that time and understand those seasons. There'll be time that will come whereby other things will be a priority to you, and you face those things. So understand the seasons in your life that you are in, and work with that, and get a good mentor.
Very
Get
important.
A good mentor that has gone through what you are going through, that you can stand on their wings. I wrote that book, The Double Woman Theory. That's part of what we talk about. You must not experience everything yourself. If it's possible to get someone that has done it, please do that. It will help you out.
Very true. Very true. Then let's talk a little bit. I have 3 more questions to ask you. Let's talk a little bit about social life. How important is having a social life to handling stress?
Yeah, it comes to, like I said, it comes to your awareness of yourself and who you are. I'm a person that I'm not a very sociable person. I'm not a party person, so it's not a problem. But I need it. That's the thing. So, but I don't need it as much as somebody else might need it. I have 3 kids. One of my kids don't need social media. You will never see a picture anywhere on social media. On her birthdays, I don't even, for example, using social media, I don't even post a picture. That is her. She has a small circle and she's okay with it. While the other one, she's social media and everything. So know yourself. If you are that person that needs always communication, then you need to build healthy relationships. And you don't need so much people. For example, for me, thank God my kids are bigger, so I have that relationship with them. I have that advantage of being able to be my friend. We have fun, we have everything. You understand? So there's a place of you having that person that you can talk to at work, that one person that understands you. In your family, that one person that gets you, that really gets you. In your friends, that one person that gets you. So that sometimes you just come and you fall down. You don't even need to talk. The person understands. And the person can also talk to you in the way you would understand. So socializing helps you to reduce stress if you're in the right place. Like that's what I'm saying. That's a disclaimer. You need to be the right person in the right place to be able to be yourself. If not, it's an added pressure.
Exactly.
It's an added pressure.
Yeah.
So that's just the distinction that you have to be aware of. So learn to build meaningful friendship. I keep saying this for me personally. I don't believe in having, some people say, I don't believe in having friends, maybe they are better than you or whatever, but they have the same values as you and they're ready to grow.
Exactly.
So the 2 things for me. They have your values and they're ready to grow. Even if you are higher than them, but because they are ready to grow, they are growing, they are also pushing you up. So be with people that have your values and are also ready to grow. Anybody that's not ready to grow will not be of help to you at all. Will not be ready to even change.
Yeah.
And that is not good.
Yeah. That's true. Now let's talk about the double woman theory.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're in Germany. The weather is cold.
No, the weather is not cold. You know, we have this season whereby the plants are coming. So I have this
Okay.
allergy. It's
All
even
right.
better now. Yeah,
All right. So let's talk about the double woman theory. Do you have the book?
I do.
So tell us a little bit about the book, who the book is for, what they should expect when they get the book.
Yeah. You see this book, when you look at the book, there's a lady looking
Mhm.
at herself in the mirror,
Mhm.
and the lady herself is not so clear,
Yeah.
but the person in the mirror is so clear, you can see that person. You know, this book came about. I was talking to one of my consultants, and they say, we've seen that you've achieved a lot, and you keep going, and if you keep believing that you will get there, you will get there, because there have been somebody in your situation that also got there.
Mhm.
You know, so, and this got me thinking. We all, especially as women, we give up so easily on our dreams.
Mhm.
So this book is not just for any woman. It's for that woman that has always had a desire, maybe as a young girl. I used in the book, there were some examples I used. There's Ellen Keller, that was a blind girl. There's Coco Chanel was an example. Coco Chanel believed, this Chanel that you are seeing, this designer, believed so much in herself when she had nothing. But she was living in that a small dream till it came to pass. So this double woman theory is telling you that there's a future part of yourself. You can create that future part of yourself that you will grow up to meet, that will pull you to yourself. Because what you are going through right now, the challenges you are going through right now, maybe your marriage, in your family, in your business, in your passion, that you feel is really overwhelming. Somebody went through those things and made it. So now you put yourself that you went through those things and you made it. So part of the book, one of the strong part of this book is you writing a letter to yourself. You can choose to write a letter from your 5-year self, from your 10-year self, from your 20-year self to yourself, and tell yourself, what I wrote in the book was my 70-year-old self. I told my present self that, hey, listen, you made it. You made it. That your balance center became a reality. It was not easy. You had challenges, but you did it. Your kids are doing well. Your kids, they did this, they did this, they did this. You created that, you created that. Even the challenges you are having now, through this, through that, you were able to overcome it. So this your future person is pulling you. So anytime I read that letter, I'll read. Even I encourage my younger daughter. In that my letter, I wrote there that she because she's a bit business inclined. I wrote her there that she had a shoe business. So there's one day she was sad. She had not yet seen the letter. She was just sad. She was just down to we're talking. And I said, listen, look, in my letter, this is what I wrote about you. Do you know that thing it gave us strength to step into that shoes of that person that will achieve that. And we as women, we need that, because we always have us. So we need to tell ourselves that we can make it.
Yeah.
So this is double woman telling every woman that has always had a desire to be something. You've always had that desire you've always had a dream. This book is telling you that you can make it. And this book is giving you different ways, visualization, structure, connection, collaborations, different tips that can help you become that person that you want to be. Just like what part of it is what we are doing today. We are collaborating, we are connecting. It's taking us, it's taking me to my future self. It's taking you to your future self. I recommend this book to any woman. Like I said, this book, it comes with a 90 days mentorship class. We are in the 3rd week right now. It's a paid mentorship class. 90 days. After that, I'll go to the next season of it. So I recommend it to any woman that has that desire for more in life.
So is it when someone gets the book that they will not be in a mentorship class, or when people join a mentorship class that the book comes with it? How does it work?
There are 2 ways. You can just get the book, then you have the book. But if you want to be part of the mentorship class, you pay, you get the book, because the book is part of our blueprint. the book is part of our blueprint, and also each woman comes with their challenge.
Mhm.
At the beginning of the mentorship club, for example, now we ask questions, and the women, they will tell you, I'm having problem with leadership, with impact, with growth, with distraction, with procrastination.
Mhm.
And every week we talk about it. Like this week now, we talked about the distraction. What distracts us as moms? Why do we procrastinate? Why do we have work overload? So we also talk about those things while also using the book as a blueprint.
Beautiful. And how can we get the book?
The book is on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. The Double Woman Theory by Ifoma Ogbonna. Get your copy. We have the hard copy and we have the paperback. We also have the Kindle one.
Okay. So you heard it, everybody. If you want to get the Double Woman Theory, you can get it on Amazon. The Double Woman Theory by Coach Ifoma Ogbonna. And if you're interested in the coaching mentorship group, so there'll be another cohort of the mentorship group, right? All right. So you let us know whenever the second cohort starts. Then, that's the final thing. What is one message you want to leave with any woman of African descent who lives abroad right now? What is one message you want them to get from this?
I would say you are at an advantage. I want to tell you that you are at an advantage. Do you know what it is? For example, I lived in a particular city where I'm in Germany for 20 years, and about 4 to 5 years ago, I changed city. And I say, wow, if I had only lived there, I would not have experienced a lot of things. I would not have known that another part of life exists here. So understand that you are at an advantage. You are seeing another world that you could only have imagined. I would tell you, learn to embrace. Embrace as you are evolving, because now you're going to be a different person. But you need to hold on to a strong identity. You know where you're coming from. You know what built you till this time. So what you should not do is don't lose your identity, but rebrand yourself, rebuild your identity. Because if you don't build your identity, you will not be able to move forward at all or fast. So build your identity. Tell yourself, in the country I'm coming from, this was my identity. This is how we do. Now in this country, sometimes some of the things you have, they're outdated or they're not valued where you are. Rebuild yourself. Take the strengths of both worlds. The strengths from where you are and where you are.
Exactly.
Hold on to it. Embrace it. Evolve gracefully. And still yet, don't carry everything alone. I beg you. Always look for support. Take a day at a time. You are strong does not mean you should carry everything.
Yes.
You are enough does not mean you cannot get more. So just evolve gracefully. Keep a strong identity and know that you are at an advantage. That mindset will help you to want to discover more instead of holding only back to what you have. It will help you to discover more in the land where you are now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach Ify. And if anybody wants to get in touch with you, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can send me an email at balancelivingconsulting@gmail.com or through any of my social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Just Balance Living Consulting, or you write Coach Ify, send me a message, I'll be there.
All right. So you can find Coach Ify on social media, Balance Living Consulting or Coach Ify, or you can send her a mail at balancelivingconsulting@gmail.com. If you're interested in her mentorship group, you can send her a message. If you want to get her book, The Double Woman Theory, you can find it on Amazon. It was a fantastic session, Coach Ify. Thank you so much for joining us today. And to you listening, I hope that you were able to pick up one or two things. If it's just one thing you were able to pick up from this session, that's wonderful. Just take that one thing, use it, run with it, and make sure it works for you. Thank you, Coach Ify. And I hope you come again. This is the second time. I hope there'll be a third time because I have
I'm ready.
So many questions to ask you, but I just have to stop it now. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.